Hello everybody, vanburman here, and welcome to my video entitled, well, you'll see what it's entitled, but hopefully it's going to be entitled 1 year later with Infestation survivor stories. For the purposes of this general talk about video, I'm going to be referring to it as the War Z, seeing as that's what I've always called it, and yeah, I'm not calling it Infestation. Sounds more like a bug plague rather than a zombie game. At any rate, I first played this game roughly about a year ago, and I decided to go back to it purely because the guy who used to run the server that I used to play on, he has rented a server for another month, or this month, after one of his friends going back into it. So I said, okay, I'll come and have a play. It's been a while since I've, had a go on it, and we'll see see what the changes are like. And I have to say, I was really quite pleasantly surprised. I know I've upgraded my computer since I first played it, but everything ran really nice on Ultra, recorded really nice, still looks really nice as well, which is brilliant. It's probably, at least, I don't know, I'd say it's probably on par with DayZ standalone, if I'm honest, in terms of graphics. And at the minute, this is going to be a bit of a spoiler, but at the minute it's probably also on par in terms of, or maybe even slightly better than standalone at the minute in terms of the gameplay. But I still feel that they both lag behind the mod, even though the mod had its problems. I think overall the DayZ mod is probably the best one so far. The great thing about it is they fixed, from what I've seen or from what I played through, quite a lot of the zombie glitches, which is great. They're now sprinters, which I haven't encountered before, and they run at you like monkeys almost. They are quite hard to hit in the first instance, but after then, it's okay. All your weapons take damage now, so they all have durability. I better switch to a scene where you can actually see more what's going on. When I spawned in, it was very dark, but it was 2 or 3 AM, and it gets lighter throughout the whole time that I'm playing it. I have to say, they've made quite a lot of changes since I first played on it, and the map is a lot nicer now. I was playing it on a PvE environment, which, personally, I much prefer. But, that will be for each person to decide themselves, of course. And, yeah, so what I did is I equipped myself with some stuff which I had in my GI from before, and headed out into the world to go and meet the guy that I play with, and we managed to go around doing some exploring, looting some stuff. Loot spawn seemed to be, after looking around, fairly sort of pretty well balanced actually, in fairness, which is what I wanted to see. I mean, we went through so many phases of there being too much loot, too little loot, but the loot seems okay. I don't know if it's just because it's private server and all that stuff, but I'm not really going to go into the politics of it because I really don't care for that anymore. I did at one point, but I do not now. The game also now has durability on your items, but you can repair them at workbenches, which I think's fine. I mean, it adds an extra level of survival to the zombie apocalypse, which, yeah, makes sense. And it now actually means that your zombie dollars have a bit of use to them rather than not. There's still the glitch here though, as you can see on screen with the chem lights, where it lights up the ground where just in front of where you threw it, rather than the actual place where it landed. So, I don't know, they're not going to have to fix that one. I would have thought they're just taking chem lights out of the game. But still, the other thing is as well, there is no fall damage again, either. Which I don't like, but it's preferable to the other way, where you would be walking down a hill and just instantly lose a quarter of your life for no apparent reason. The zombie dollars in order to fix your equipment is relatively, I'll say relatively small, but then again my equipment wasn't really that badly damaged when I repaired it. So I don't know what it would be like if you had only a 10% durability left on my katana, for example. I presume that would cost a couple of $100 zombie dollars maybe, but these things are as such. And also the zombies do seem to drop more money now. Before it was a bit more of a rare occurrence. I mean, I think it was like 1 in 5 before. Now it seems to be more like 1 in 3, 1 in 2, which is good. And there's also the sums of money seem slightly higher as well from what I remember. The other good thing about it is, as you're about to see, is you can swim. But the swimming is... The animations are very basic, shall we say, and there's no way to defend yourself in the water, so I'm assuming that zombies can't actually find you in water. Although it is great to be able to swim across from, one edge to the other. It cuts down on travel time, which is nice. But of course you are very exposed in the water. And I believe I said that the animations are worse than Tomb Raider 1. Although that actually had quite good swimming animations, so, and sound effects stuff. So maybe I shouldn't mock it too much, but you can see it is pretty basic. However, I'm glad that they've added swimming in. And apparently on the new map there's also going to be vehicles as well, which I'm not on the new map, I'm still on the older one. But the vehicles should be interesting. Definitely. So here we are in the middle of Clearview now. A little bit later on. Actually not even that much later on. And we've got a nail gun. And the nail gun has improved vastly since I first had it. When I first remember using it, the range wasn't that much on it, and it was fairly difficult to aim. But yeah, no, it's a really good gun. And it's one that I used for a little bit as well, actually, because I get it dropped. One of the things which I'll mention when I come to it, because I don't think we're that far away from showing you. Oh, I got snuck on there by a ninja zombie. But what zombies can do now is they can actually call other zombies, and they let out such a loud screech. I mean, in all honesty, it's a really loud screech. And I was nowhere near the zombie when he actually got me. Nowhere near the zombie when he actually screamed. It was from... I was inside this supermarket in front of me, and the zombie was, outside across the street. And it was amazing. It actually made me jump. You can see the zombies, they've got the Christmas special on, which is really cool. And I actually went around wearing that for a little bit. This doesn't look quite as cool as you'd think, but it's great that they've added in those little touches. I mean, it wasn't something which I expected to see too much of when I first started playing the game, given the lack of enhancements to the game. But definitely leaving it alone for 6 months has, that bit there, has shown me a lot of improvements. I was really worried because I was like, what the heck, where is this noise coming from? But still, the katanas are massively OP still, which is awesome, because they're probably still the best weapon on the game by far, for PvE environment at any rate. And yeah, I mean, I actually enjoyed it again. I really did. The problem which I had with it before is that, you want to see improvements to the game, and they'd come out in, I don't know, they wouldn't be they wouldn't be tested properly, and they'd come out in unpredictable ways as well. I mean, you get something which would make the game better, and then something which would make the game worse again. And you're thinking, I wouldn't have minded if you just left it in one state for a while and then made changes. That would have made more sense. And then do a change when there is a lot to change and it all works. I mean, of course, with me purely being a PvE player on this sort of game, then, that is a bit different, because you don't have to change as much for someone who's just PvPing. When there's PvP involved and one player is trying to be the best by killing as many other people as possible, that's when you get the problem, because they will maybe be exploiting certain glitches or faults in the game. Just my opinion. Screaming again all the time. As you can see me, I'm now here in my hat, and apparently there's a lot more item boxes around now, which is brilliant, because there used to be a fair rarity unless you knew exactly where they were, and most of them were down in the airport, of course. And I managed to find a an FN P90S, which I don't think I ever had. I had a P90, I found a couple of P90s, but the P90S I didn't find, and it is an amazing gun, as you probably already know. And unfortunately I don't have any ammo left in my GI, but still, yeah, apparently you can find all sorts of guns anywhere now, which I guess is nice, but when they're in Clearview, for example, which is obviously the main PvP area, I don't know, if I was chasing someone down and they ran in here and managed to find a brand new FMP P90S, then they could probably gun me down. No, almost certainly, in fact. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't upset to find it, and it was nice to actually be able to find some decent loot on my first go back in. Apparently, as you can see in the top bit, you can collect wood and stone and stuff, and apparently you can build stuff if you find recipes. Hadn't managed to have a go with that because I didn't find anything. I didn't find any recipes. I think I only found some charcoal or something like that. So yeah, I was Mossberging at this point. Like, well, it's only got 3 bullets. Somehow that zombie lives from that. But, you know, whatever, makes sense. I'm sure in some way. Which, yeah, it's funny. But yeah, the Mossberg really should have took that zombie out. But it's one of the great things about playing PvE, especially when you're on a private server. You can just be a bit silly. I mean, you don't have to watch your back all the time as much, only from ninja zombies, and you can just pretty much have a bit of fun, which is nice. I can pick people off with the P90S. I don't think I missed many shots with this actually. You try to go for a bullet per kill, but obviously sometimes if you shoot from far away, you sort of lose the. See, I got him then, but only in the torso. So I decided that my friend could deal with that, and I wouldn't bother. Apparently, as well, you can buy everything with zombie dollars, which is nice. I can't believe how many shots I missed there. And better than that, I swear. Wait, yeah. Apparently, the prices are still fairly large. I haven't had a look, and apparently, lock boxes are very expensive. But having said that, I'm aware of the problems that the devs had with the lock boxes in the first place, and I'm not really surprised that they decided to up the cost of that, especially when they had to go through and manually remove all of the lock boxes and pull the stuff in people's GIs, and apparently it was a huge great kerfuffle, which happened about a month after I stopped playing. I lost all the stuff in my in my lock boxes, but nevertheless, still, it's a game which I would recommend going back and playing. If you've left it like I have for a while, then it's probably something you'd enjoy. I haven't, as I say, played any of the PvP aspects. On this game, I'm purely a PvE player. I'm not good at killing other people, and it's not really part of the fun of it for me either. If you've not played it before and you see the game on sale, I definitely recommend picking it up now. If you've left it between when it first came out and now to play it, then yeah, I would suggest doing so, especially while you're waiting for the DayZ standalone to, you know, come out of alpha and through into beta with all the, you know, weapons and vehicles and stuff. Then yeah, this is a good alternative between now and then, and yeah, I'd actually say it's worth playing in its current state. It's improved a lot, and I was a big fan of it when it first came out, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I've come back to it again and I've enjoyed it, which I didn't think I would. There's a lot of stigma attached to this game, and rightly so. They've deserved it, but they have made a lot of changes and a lot of improvements. The zombies are quite a lot better now. They're not perfect, but they make more sense now, and given the variation, I think that helps. Anything that makes the zombies more of a threat, especially as I'm as I say, a PvE player, then I think that's better for the game. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this discussion a year later with the War Z, even though I'm going to put Infestation in the title. But, you know, that's purely my stylistic choice. Oh yes, and they have Christmas presents. Unfortunately, the only presents that they put under the tree for me was a teddy bear backpack. And unfortunately, I have a large backpack, so that present was honestly no good to me. So I was slightly disappointed. But I like those little add-in bits, but it does definitely shows the difference between War Z and DayZ. War Z is without a doubt the arcadey version of the zombie survival genre, and DayZ is the hardcore aspect of it. There's no doubt about that, and there's never been much doubt about it anyway. But still, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye everybody.